Well, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to go through some of the bigger sets that I'm looking at possibly acquiring to add to my collection. I do have at this point, I would say three mega sets, if you will, or mega structures, which is basically a Lego set that exceeds a 32 by 32 base plate, both in terms of the length and also the width. And so I'm just going to go through a few other sets that I'm possibly going to be looking at buying in terms of where I get these sets. So, the first things first, I only have two of the sets put together. I have videos on them. It's the castle and then also the government building. I just did a video on that. And both of those sets, the castle, the Halloween castle, that's around 7,500 pieces. That's probably as small as I'll go for like a mega structure. If it's under 7,500 pieces, I kind of just view it as a modular, even if it's two 32 by 32 base plates together. But the government building's around 14,000 pieces. And so these are just other bigger sets that you kind of look at. What do you like? What do you not like? The way that I do it in terms of the design of the set, it matters greatly in terms of the display of these, just the way I like it. So you've got this one. I think this looks like a beautiful set. You look at it, very, very fair price, $131. You take a look, it is an MOC. So that's going to be a bit annoying in terms of the assembly process because it's not bagged if it's an MOC. Or maybe actually it is if it's fun build. I don't know. I've never gotten one of these type of sets. But if you really want to have a good collection, you're probably going to have to go the MOC route. Now, certainly you've got the bigger brands and like Baka, they do a lot of bigger sets. You can get some really nice sets from there. You've got Rio bricks and things like that. But for if you really want like an impressive rare collection, you're going to have to go the route of the MOC. And the bricks are going to be sourced likely by Chinese companies. If you want to source them through Rebrickable with Lego, you're going to be paying $2,000 for a set like this, probably. I actually don't know if it's $2,000. It's probably like $1,500. It's ridiculous, the cost of Legos. But obviously something like this, if it's an off-brand, you're looking at $131. Probably, because this is Alibaba, they do have, like, honestly, a tariff. Although it's still worth it. It's probably like $200 for this if I were to actually get it. You can see it says shipping $4, but they also have like service fees and things like that. So if I were to buy this set, it'd probably be about $200. This set, I believe, is around 7,500 pieces. And so I look at a set like this and I like the foliage. It looks beautiful. Something like this, I would have to redo the base of it. You can see the base. It's got things like jetting out. It's got kind of this curvature to it. I don't like any of that. I like it straight. 90 degree. I don't like any of this. So the base would have to be, I'd have to redo the base. I'd have to try and maybe I'd have to acquire some base plates or something to be able to build it. And another thing that I would do is I would likely add more foliage or just more round pieces to the base to fill it in. That's another thing that I would do to a set like this. Because again, if you're displaying this, I don't want the curvature. I want everything to be straight. So when they're displayed, they all look, they're all straight. So to me, that's like the curvature. What is that? But this, to me, this looks like a nice set. This looks like a nice set. It does look like, I was looking at the length of it. See, it's about 7,400. It's slightly smaller than my castle, which is 7,500. 7,400, that to me, that's right on the borderline. But this is minifigure scale. You need everything close or at minifigure scale, I would say. And you look at this, 14 inches, that's on the lower side. 13 inches, 18 inches width length, and the height is 26 inches. That's mainly because it looks like it has this statue on top, which probably adds another 3 or 4 inches to it. But I do like it. It looks like a nice structure. It'd be a tough one to build. It's an MOC. So it's really going to have to be, normally it comes sorted to a degree, but you're going to be playing around with all those pieces. It's not like, oh, here's bag 1, bag 2, bag 3. When it's not licensed like that, it becomes an issue. But you look at something like this. This is one that I was looking at. Also, you look at something like this. This actually, and so they do say that sometimes, this actually is another Baka set, this Opera House. I don't know what happened with this set. They didn't license it out or something to the Chinese distributors. You really can't buy it. It's very sad because it's 4 32 by 32 base plates, very similar to this set. This is the set that I have. the government building is what I call it. I guess they say it's an astrology museum or whatever. But this opera house is very nice. I'd buy it, but it's just not available anywhere. So I don't know what happened to that set. If it's just never going to be available, maybe it never will be. I've actually never seen anyone build it. You see these people on YouTube. Some of us build these alt bricks. I've never seen anyone. I don't even think the thing is it's not even available. I saw it available on one website for $600. It's actually a good deal still. $600 for a set that's 13,000 pieces, but if they distribute it, excuse me, if they distribute it, it'd be about this price right here, $200. But again, even if you click on this, the other thing is, even if it was available to U.S. Consumers, they force you to buy two, and sometimes that happens to where you have to buy a quantity of two, which obviously I don't want to. As for this clock tower, I haven't built it yet. My concern with this clock tower, I have this, I own it, is, and this is actually a good price for it. If you buy, $300 plus shipping, plus the distribution fees and the tariffs, probably about $370. But I don't know. To me, it might warp the other mega structures just because of how large it is. This thing is like 4.5 feet tall. So I mean, I think I have to build it, but it's just, the other thing is it has a stand. And I think the reason it has to have a stand is because the thing has to be supported, like, otherwise it's the weight of it is so large. What is the piece count of this? Is it like 13,000 pieces? I don't know, but this one, I mean, it does have 4 boxes. I have the big box for it, so yeah, it'll be an interesting one. But you compare it to some of the other mega structures, it's going to be pretty. We'll have to see. And then this one, so this is actually like a Chinese distributor site, Mars store. And so this is the Gothic Cathedral. Now, this is $414 for 21,000 pieces. I think that's what this is, 21,000 pieces. It's a very good price. And this definitely would, I don't know if it's 432 by 32s or if this, I think it is 432 by 32s. Is that what it is? Yeah, it would have to be displayed like this. Like if you're displaying it, you can't really display it facing forward because the length of it is just so large. You'd have to turn it to its side like this. Like this is how I would display this set. Just look at the beautiful windows. It's an amazing set, but it's an MOC. That's another one that takes time to build something like that, to separate everything. I actually have seen somebody built this in a YouTube video probably about 2 or 3 years ago, this exact set, this Gothic Cathedral, because somebody had made this set for Rebrickable or something. If you want to source all your pieces through Lego, it's like probably maybe $10,000 is the cost or something, like $7,000, something crazy like that. But this is one that I would be looking at. I mean, you add the thing is with this site, the shipping is insane. This is probably about $600 if I had to guess, because the shipping will be a good $150 on this set. But still, if you're talking about $600 for 21,000 pieces, that's a good deal. But this is another mega structure I'd be looking at. And then a few other ones. This is AliExpress. So you can see the difference. This is the exact same set. The AliExpress has it for $800. You look at Alibaba, it's, where is it? It's $131, basically $200, because there is shipping and there's other fees on Alibaba versus AliExpress, but AliExpress marks up their stuff. It's really dependent, though. They do have good deals. It depends. This is another one I was looking at. This is actually a very good deal, $578, free shipping, and this set is massive. So it's 20,000 pieces. I believe this is like characterized as a Roman trading market, is what it is. It doesn't really have an interior. To me, the interiors don't matter. Like when you look at these sets, you're not going to play with them or anything like that. It's just not. So I don't get why people are obsessed with interiors. It actually does have a detailed interior, but the way you display it like this, you'd have to display it like this. What was the base plate on this? I think they said something about the base plates, and it's two just like 48 by 40. It's two 48 by 48 base plates. So it's basically 94 by 94. So that's a very big set, and it's built up too. This is another one I'd be looking at. I mean, that's a lot though. Like maybe you just go with this one. Maybe you just go with this one for around $200 versus this. I mean, but you can understand if it's $600 with the 20,000 pieces. I mean, that's a great display piece. It really is. You get something tight, but that's another MOC. They're all MOCs basically, outside of that one Baka set that I can't even purchase. So we'll have to see. And then there's also this is another MOC though. But this is kind of what I do when I look for these sets, and you can kind of see. I was also looking at this. I would never buy something like this because of the way the base is done. You can see the curvature. I need everything straight, so there's no way to display this with all the other ones. This is an insane set, though. What are the piece count on this? Like 50,000 pieces or something. It's I wonder the height of this. If it's 50,000 pieces, it's probably ridiculous. But it's some type of castle. So I thought, I mean, it's a beautiful piece, but it's just not because even a set again a set like this I would have to customize. This has all got to be. I need it straight, so I'd have to buy. I'd have to buy base plates to make sure that this is straight, or I would have to personally. I've actually done this with a few 32 by 32 modulars. The way in which they were built, they had curves to their bases. It made no sense. I just use a 32 by 32 base plate instead of using the custom whatever, where it all connects. But I'd have to really look at this because it does look like it's. It doesn't really look like it's uneven, but it does. It's one of those things to where if you source, like, because I feel like this is one 32 by 32 base place right here, and then this is just a bunch of conjumbled shit. So I'd have to really probably source like a 16 by 32 base plate that's the same color. If I had to guess, I don't know. I'd have to get the set to be able to determine it, honestly. But you could also put pumpkins around here. It's like, because the foliage, the way the color is, it's a very nice set. Not a big fan that there's no windows, but I guess that's just the design of it. But either way, guys, that's just kind of how I go through. And, it's these bigger sets. Because originally I was doing just the normal 32 by 32. That's the type of stuff that Lego produces. And there are some really good ones. And you could display those. They're pretty, like, this is like a 32 by 32. But that's actually only 1,700 pieces. This is a pretty cool opera house. This is a farmhouse. These are all 32 by 32 base plate. Or is it 24 by 24? No, it's whatever the standard is. And then there's also this temple. Yeah, it's not going to be able to be displayed because of the shape of it. I can't display it properly, I don't think. The length of it is just, it doesn't line up properly, so I wouldn't buy something like this. It's a nice looking build. I mean, under 300. It's actually not a great price. You'd like that to be like 170, honestly, for under 6,000 pieces. But if it's an MOC, it's probably going to be marked up a little bit because it's not distributed. So that's just kind of how I look through, different builds. Like it's insane. You're going to mark this up to $800 on AliExpress. There's just no way. And then I've got it here for probably $200. Because if you input your stuff, there's going to be other fees, but still. So that's just basically how I go through these different, and there's a lot of other sites to look at as well, but that's just kind of how I go through. And for me, it's the bigger sets, and it's like a minimum. I need like 7,500 pieces or higher, basically, is what I would say. Maybe 7,000 or higher, depending on the set. But it's more so the base of it. The base of it's got to be big, because when you display them, you want them to be unique. You want them to be bigger, and it's kind of a function. Because I've only got 3 of them, and really only 2 of them are built for me. Because the clock tower is not built. And the clock tower might warp the entire thing because just how gargantuan it is. But we'll have to see. Either way, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you for watching.